things are on my mind. The decision sets in. One love will turn your skin. The love is right. Let them have their time. And I have this notion, let's keep these wheels in motion. In motion. For I did not know. Did you think I would let it go? Oh no. And in time, yes, I'll think it's absurd. But until then, you'll leave your words. But lay on. Now it's time to defend your lies, the lies you've been feeding me all this time. And will you reoffend? Oh darling, you say that you are innocent, but your words, they seem irrelevant, but still play on. Now it's time to defend your lies, the lies you've been feeding me all this time. And will you reoffend? Oh darling, oh you have reached your lover's end. No way will we make pretend like we something to fight for. Oh. We had nothing to fight for. 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 it was love, but that was never enough. No, never enough. 'Cause you were chasing your dreams, now you can't redeem yourself. You were chasing your dreams, now you can't redeem yourself.
Good evening, race fans. We're back with some more ZFS action. This time, it's Monday evenings. We had the World Series a couple of weeks ago, which culminated in a great win for Amsterdam in Lobby 1. But we're now on to the coveted ZFS Championship. 3 lobbies operating this evening. This is lobby number 1. Correntis is live streaming lobby number 2 as we speak. And I think there's going to be a rebroadcast of lobby number 3 at some stage, possibly. Looking forward to this one. It is 10 rounds that look a little bit like this. Let's bring it all up, shall we? If it works. Right, so there we go, 10 rounds. This week we're at Lego Maggiore West using the GR4 from the ZFS inventory. If you don't know how ZFS works, it's a game within a game. It's essentially an online career mode specifically for Gran Turismo 7. So you race within their leagues, you earn credits with which you can buy cars, which you can add to your inventory. This evening, they're picking a GR4 car from that inventory. And that's what we'll be racing in. Next week at Suzuka in the Nissan GTR Group 2. GR2. On to Laguna Seca in the Nissan GTR 2017. Great car, I love that car. Autopolis, as you well know, I hate that track. But in a wonderful car, the Lancer Evo Final. Round 5 takes us to Road Atlanta in the Red Bull Junior. And then the countdown towards the end of the season. Round 6, Tokyo Expressway East clockwise in another GR3 inventory car. Then to the home of motorsport, Goodwood, in the Suzuki Swift. We'll see a couple of those this evening, I would imagine. Round 8 at the Broadbean Raceway in the Wicked FGT 51, which is a fabulous car. Then to Le Mans, round 9 in the Audi R18 Group 1 car. You can't do Le Mans without a Group 1, really, can you? And then the season will culminate round 10 at Kyoto Yamagiwa in yet another inventory car, which could be the title decider then as well. But today is round number 1. We're at a Lego Maggiore, or Lake Maggiore, on the west side. It is an original GT circuit, but it is based on a real place. There is a place called a Lake Maggiore in Italy. This particular layout is 2.5 miles-ish. I could check that, I suppose. Yeah, I think it is 2.5 miles. It's 2.5 miles. Not much elevation change yet. It's just over 2.5 miles, with the longest straight being pretty short, only half a mile long. The longest straight here, so not much of a slipstream benefit around here. It's going to be more about your cornering. We're doing 25 laps here, which are about a minute and a half, just under, I reckon, there or thereabouts. So pretty quick laps as well. Very little elevation change, just about a third of a mile in terms of elevation changes across the entire circuit. It is there is a few dips and bumps and ups and downs, but it's not you're not going massively uphill at any major stages. Relatively level in the scheme of things. So we'll do it on board when we get to qualifying. It's looking like we've got a pretty full lobby. Qualifying should start in about a minute's time. So the car is the GR4 inventory. 25 laps, as I said, 10 minutes for the qualifying. As usual, a good start with full start check. It will be S18, so should be sunny in the afternoon with a time multiplier of times 4. So we may, towards the end of the race, see it just heading towards twilight. I don't think it's quite going to get there at times 4 though. Racing tyres required. Tyre wear is very high, times 7. The all tyres are allowed, but they must use the softs and the hards at least once in this race. They can also use the mediums if they so wish, but they are not necessity. Fuel depletion is relatively high as well at times 6, with a quite low refuel rate, 5 litres per second. They start on a full tank of fuel. Now, whether or not the softs last an entire tank of fuel, we will find out very shortly. I would imagine we're going to see 1 or 2 particularly the front runners starting on hard compound tyres. I would have thought they'll want to get those out of the way relatively quickly, and obviously try and stay in the mix there. If you're starting further down the field, it may be more beneficial to do a short run on the softs, maybe just to kind of move you up the field a little bit if you can. Obviously, if you start the further back you start on those hards, the more risk you take of creating a bigger gap to have to chase down, and you don't want at the towards the end of the race be punishing your tyres trying to chase down a gap. You're much better off if you're going to put some punishment in your tyres, do it early on, so you've got at the end you can have some fresher tyres and look after them just that little bit. So everyone is pretty much here. I don't think there's a few people just to check in. We've got the usual suspects here, of course. It's going to be difficult to look past the quick. We know sort of Amsterdam. We know he's very quick. We know Shake Your Booty, Shark, very very good drivers. Ridder's also very very good. It's going to be difficult to pick a winner at the moment. We'll have to wait and see what sort of times they're checking out on the qualifying. Edinburgh Lad and Stu Shelton as well. We know they're very good, very solid drivers. I think the car is going to play a big part here. We've got quite a good selection actually. Zumed, for instance, the Portuguese driver, has gone for the Bugatti Veyron. Shark in that Mazda 3, which we know used to be incredibly meta. I don't know how much it's changed since the last update, but it was a pretty awesome car when it first came out. We've got the Corvette out there, we've got the Supra, the Suzuki Swift, of course, which we would expect. The Viper is there, the Cayman, we've got the RCZ, we've got the BMW M4. So a really, really good, quite a wide-reaching selection of cars for them to show you for your viewing pleasure. I tell you what I need to do. I need to just check something, because I don't know if we're getting, well, obviously we're not in the race yet, so we shouldn't be getting race car noises. But the room is being prepared ready for qualifying. That will be why I need that turned on. There we go. Yeah, it's just I want to make sure I can hear the cars in my ear hole. That's not turning off. Why is that not turning off? Oh, there we go. It is now. So just wait for everyone to check in, and then we'll get qualifying underway. There we go. We'll have a little look through, look at the car list as they check in. So Edinburgh Lad, you can see there, he's in that GR Supra. We've got DJ in that Porsche Cayman GT4. Shake Your Booty in a McGann Trophy. Very solid car, that. Stu Shelton in that Corvette C7. The Dodge Viper. Good evening, Dan. The Dodge Viper there for Vale. Haven't seen Vale racing before. It would be interesting to see how quick he is. Heckelman, that's Bo Snipe, I think, in that SLS AMG. Much better GR3, is it GR4, but still a very, very solid car. Gary Clark, Baby Shark is in the Mazda 3. Ridders is in that RCZ, that Peugeot RCZ. Zumez from Portugal, as I said, is in the Bugatti Veyron. Which for me, I think if you're going to pick the Veyron, you need a track like Daytona or Le Mans, something with a long straight. I think it's going to struggle a little bit here, because as I said at the beginning, it's 2.5 miles long, but only half a mile on the longest straight. So you're not going to get the best benefit out of that Bugatti Veyron. Vescu is in that BMW M4. I'm just trying to see if anyone... I don't think there's one car that's being used more than once. Schmergen in the V8 Vantage Aston Martin. So every driver is in a different car, which is... you don't often see this, particularly at sort of GR4 level. You generally have 2 or 3 cars that tend to be the full... the sort of the car of choice. You see there, I'll be using the Alpha 155. I wouldn't be using the Alpha 155 because it'd be an awful choice for here, but I just happen to love that car. Right, qualifying is in progress, so let's get involved with some qualifying. Whole new overlay for new season, new overlay. How's about that then? We've still got the tyre and fuel display. It will bring up display all. And we want to turn drivers' names off because we'll find them. Right, so who is going to be our onboard monkey? Excuse me. I think it's going to be Zumez in that Bugatti. Well, we get to see just how well that Bugatti Veyron performs. Now, it is a 10-minute qualifying session. They'll want to give themselves a little bit of room between. The last thing you want to do is be on a super hot lap and being catching the person in front, and then that kind of scrapping your lap for you. So you do want to make sure that when you are on a hot lap that you've not got someone else just there's no real benefit for slipstream here. The straights aren't long enough to warrant it, so you really want to just make sure there's plenty of room and you're not getting bogged down, but also certainly you don't want the cars behind coming up behind you at a rapid rate and messing with your qualifying in the same way. Do let me know if the car sounds are too high or low or whatever. I had a massive setup change last week with new desk and redid everything and plugged everything back in. I do still have to change a couple of wires because I've got an issue with the graphics on my main screen. My computer screen's fine, and obviously your view is fine, but the graphics on my main screen are not great because I've used the wrong HDMI cable for the return. Oh yeah, and I had the issue yesterday of a PlayStation that turned itself off. I'm a little bit concerned about that rearing its ugly head again, but we'll see. We'll see how we get on. So, shall we go on board with Zumez for his next hot lap? He's on a hot lap at the moment in that Bugatti Veyron. Or we could go with someone else. Who's starting a lap? Let's go and have a look. Here we go. There we go. We've got Ridders. Ridders is about to start a lap, so you swoop around that final corner, get on that power, heading down across the line. This is the part of the circuit that you would use on pretty much every connotation. Down into second gear, get the car rotated, loads of curb, a little blast before you're down to first, more rotation, get on that power as quickly as possible. Then you sweep round to this right hand side as opposed to going left as you would on the full circuit. Be careful of that grass on the left when you exit through this little, it's almost a chicane, but you can kind of flat out through there before you sweep round to the right hand side and head down the hill. This is the biggest elevation change in the entire track, and you head down towards this massive banked right hander. Because it's banked so well, the banking almost pulls you around that corner. You just have to really get it slowed down and get it turned in, and then you can get on the power quite early because the banking just pulls you around. Flicking it to the left hand side, stay left because you're going to stay flat out over the curb, going to the right, heading down to another big braking zone, down into third gear as he uses all of that grass on the inside as he can. Little blast before you tap the brake again using loads and loads of that grass, and then you're sweeping around to the left hand side, let it drift out to the right before you take this final corner. And again, it's got a bit of banking here which helps you with getting the power down early, and there's plenty of road on that exit to help you get up to speed and cross the line for your lap. That was a pole position lap as well. Great lap there from Ridders with a 1:27.9, putting him on pole in that RCZ. Vescu in the BMW. He's in the BMW, isn't he? Yes, he is. He's in the BMW. He's on the front row alongside Ridders with Heckelman in that AMG, currently on row 2. The American driver, just ahead of Sheikh Yabuti in 4th in that Renault Megane Trophy. Row 3 is Edinburgh Lad. Sorry about the squeaking, my dog's got a toy it's playing with in the background. Edinburgh Lad heads up row 3, and he's got Gary Clark's Baby Shark in the Mazda for company. 1.3 seconds separate those two at the moment in terms of time. Schmergen and Dan are currently on row 4. Down in that Suzuki Swift. Now you do have to qualify on the tyres you intend to start on, and this is a good time to show it's a new tyre and the fuel thingy. I like it a lot. It's Picasso. Right, so let's have a look at who's doing what. So Ridders on those softs. Now he plans on starting on those soft compound tyres, but you can see already how much wear there is on those softs. so they're not going to last very long. Shake Your Booty also on those soft compounds, Vescu on the softs as well. So you basically have to start on the tyres in which you set your fastest qualifying time. So these guys clearly going to have to start on those softs. Heckelman, he has opted for the softs as well, with being there on road 2. Softs for Edinburgh Lad, hards for Shark. So Shark is the first or the highest placed driver on those hard compound tyres. Vale pops himself into that top 6 on the hard compound tyres. As I said, Shark was. He is no longer. Vale with a 1:29.5. That's a solid time on those hard compound tyres. But you can see the difference. It's almost 2 seconds, or so the second and a half difference between the soft and the hard around here. So it does make a massive difference in over 25 laps. That's a lot of seconds. Well, 30 odd. There or thereabouts. So Shark on the hard, Schmergen on the hards as well. Dan also on those hard compound tyres. Zumez in that Veron. The Portuguese driver also on the hards, as is Stu Shelton and I would imagine DJ. 3.3 seconds separates the entire field. And if you consider that over half the field are on hard compound tyres, that's not too shabby really. So Ridders is currently your pole sitter. How precarious is that pole position? 27.9 for him thus far. Nobody else has gone sub 28 as yet. Shake Your Booty is the closest with a 28.0, which he did on lap 3. His second hot lap. He's got some fresh boots on now. He's on an out lap, so he won't set a good time here. But he may well improve yet. We've got 3 minutes left of qualifying, so enough time for 2 hot laps pretty much for anyone out there. Is there anyone that's going to need to change tyres to try and get an opportunity to get 2 hot laps? Edinburgh Lad taking an interesting line through the sand there. That's not going to work there. So Vale gets on some fresh hard tyres. He wants to ensure that he stays as close to those soft tyre runners as possible. Currently the gap between Edinburgh Lad, who is the slowest of the softs, and Vale, the fastest of the hards, is 1.1 second. So that really that shows you the difference in pace over the 2 tyres. It's going to be about anywhere between 1.5 and 1.1 seconds. I mean, he's 1.5 off pole is Vale. That's how close the top 5 are. The top 5 separated by less than half a second on those soft compound tyres. And then we look at the hard runners, are separated by, do some math, about 0.8 of a second. So nothing separating, really nothing separating the drivers on their different strategies. We'll have a look at some liveries. We can do it now actually while we're here. So let's have a little looky-see. So Revolution Racing for Ridders. Oh, Ridders is the dude from Simza. Yeah, we saw Ridders on a Sunday night in the multi-class series of Simza. I thought I recognised Ridders' name. Shake Your Booty. He's gone for a sort of black and gold. It looks very professional race car, that doesn't it? Vescu, the HJC livery. See that quite a lot actually. But loving the Dead Bunny racing thingy on the front there, of course. Heckelman, very, very classic Why So Salty livery on the AMG. Edinburgh Lad, also Why So Salty. Love his little logo on the side there. Loving it. I do like that car. It's very, very simple and understated. As Heckelman puts himself on pole, beats Ridders to that pole position. Vale has gone for, there's a little very cartoony. The Doctor, of course, that's a tribute to the great Valentino Rossi. DJ's in the pits. Shark, the Morrow Motorsport, of course. Schmergen, Ninja Blade. Amsterdam, again with Why So Salty Racing, with that crazy looking bear on the back. The Swift just looks so out of place on the track with all these other cars, doesn't it? And ridiculous. Zumez, I love the colouring on this, the sort of bright red and black colouring. Very, very bright red there. That's what's his name from? That's the dude from the Cars cartoon, isn't it? Very nice. Awesomeness. Right, so it's Heckelman that's on pole. One more opportunity for anyone that's out there to beat it. A 1:27.810 for him puts him at the front of the pack, ahead of Ridders. And does he improve on that time? He does not. But Shake Your Booty across the line on that final lap, a 1:27.7. Beating it by just 0.02 of a second. Shake Your Booty steals pole away from Heckelman and pushes Ridders onto the second row. That was a fantastic final lap there from Shake Your Booty in that Renault Megane. So this is how it looks. It looks like everyone's done. Shake Your Booty is on pole from Heckelman, from the United States. It's Ridders and Vescu on row 2. Edinburgh Lad on row 3. That's the soft tyre runners all accounted for. Then Vale, he is the lead hard tyre runner. He's on row 3 with Edinburgh Lad. Then it's Shark and DJ, Schmergen and Amsterdam, Zumez and I think it's Stu Shelton at the back of the pack. There we have it. Boom Shanker. Just the confirmation for anyone who didn't hear me. Shake Your Booty from Heckelman, they're on your front row. 3 cars sub 28 there. Ridders and Vescu row 2. Edinburgh Lad and Vale on row 3. Row 4 is Shark and DJ. Row 5 Schmergen and Amsterdam, and row 6 will be Zumez and Stu Shelton. The entire field separated by just 2.3 seconds. There's absolutely nothing in it. Nothing at all in it. It's going to be a really, really close race. It's going to be important, very important, because everyone knows what everybody's qualified on. So they know what everyone's going to be starting on for the first stint. So it's going to be absolute paramount for those front 5 to get those tyres up to temperature as quickly as possible and get the car moving up the field and try and pull a gap on those hard tyre runners as quickly as they can, because the tyres aren't going to last very long and they're going to find themselves in a little bit of trouble pretty early on when the tyres start to go off. I want that off and I want that on. There we go. Look at that camera angle. That's wicked, man. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, 4 lights, 5 lights. They go out and we begin the ZFS Championship here at Lego Maggiore. And let's get cracking behind. Let's go with the soft tyre runners there, or with Vale. So Vale already losing a couple of places, down to 8th as they go through turn 1. Everyone through pretty much cleanly, no real bumpy. Of course, damage is on hard. You do not want to be smashing up your car this early stage of the race. Shake Your Booty from pole, still leading this race. All of the soft tyre runners are still in that top 5, although Ridder's losing out quite dramatically early on and dropping all the way down to 5th position. He was on pole with less than a minute remaining of the qualifying session, and all of a sudden now finds himself in 5th, trying to chase down the 4 cars ahead. Shake Your Booty getting the hammer down very, very early on. DJ moving up to 6th position. Smurgen up to 7th. We've got Shark there. He's in 8th. Vale, who was the lead hard tyre runner, dropping down already to 9th position. He's got Stu Shelton who's ahead of Dan as well. So good start from Stu Shelton in that Corvette. He's just ahead of Amsterdam in the Suzuki Swifty. And Zumez in that Veyron, which I said it earlier on, I think the Veyron's going to struggle here today. It's not a track that suits this Bugatti Veyron too well. But you never look, I've been proved wrong on many occasions. So opening lap for Shake Your Booty, looking pretty good thus far. He's already 1.2 seconds clear, giving himself a nice little cushion over those other soft tyre runners. And that's what they're going to want to do now. These guys are going to want to open up that gap. So let's have a look. So Ridder's there already. So 2.4 seconds is the gap between those starting on the softs and those starting on the hards already. We're only on lap 2 of 25. Now, of course, those guys out front are going to have to run hards at some stage. But if they can build themselves a big enough gap to those cars behind, they put themselves in a really, really strong advantage. Yes, of course, they're going to have to pit sooner. That goes without saying. So they're going to lose those positions. But they're going to be in a different pit strategy. And obviously, the further ahead they can pull, the less behind they're going to be when they come out of the pits. I estimate, I'm looking at the tyre wear already, and I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see signs of pit stops around lap 5 and 6 when they start to think about pitting. I certainly think by the time we've got to lap 7, lap 8, they will have all had to have come in and got the job done. And get some fresh tyres on. Now remember, they must use the softs, they must use the hard compound tyres. I wouldn't be surprised if we see 1 or 2 drivers busting out the mediums at some stage, just to kind of offset some of that deg, that high deg, and give themselves a little bit better performance than the hards. Of course, these guys would have tested all these tyres in their practice sessions leading up to this race, so they'll know whether the extra few laps you get out of the medium tyres makes it worth it in terms of pace over the hard compound tyre. And you can see there, Shake Your Booty already pulling out a gap over Vescu, 1.7 seconds with the fastest lap already at 1:28.0. I wouldn't be surprised if that hits the 1:27s as the fuel starts to burn down. Vesky's giving himself a little bit of room to Heckelman behind, where it's 0.7 of a second. Heckelman from the United States got Edinburgh lad for company in that Super, right up behind him in that Super, just 0.4 of a second. That second 1.1 back to Ridders in that RCZ. Now you can see the wear on his tyres, really, really bad for him. We'll bring it up, actually, we'll show you what the tyre wear is looking like. So you can see Shake Your Booty, not too bad at the moment. Vescu's already going to start thinking about pitting. I would imagine lap 6 is going to be the window for these guys. Heckelman in a better position, he can probably get another couple of laps out of it. Edinburgh lad looking not great, but we see that move there, and Edinburgh lad dropping down to 4th position now, with Ridders right behind him. I say dropping down, he was there anyway. He just Heckelman regained his 3rd position. So Ridder's there, really big tyre wear for him in that RCZ. He's already outside that 1 second window. How you doing, Dane? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. So yeah, Ridder's is 1.1 back. So that's the soft tyre runners. Let's have a little look at those that started on the hards, because the gap's getting quite sizable already on lap 4. DJ leading out the pack at the moment. He's in that Porsche Cayman. He's about 0.6 up from Gary Clark Baby Shark in that Mazda 3 for Morrow Motorsport. But it's a little bit of a train going on here, right in up in his business. That's Vale 46, who was the quickest man on the hards in qualifying. He is all over the back of Shark at the moment, and that's allowing Schmergen as well to get involved in this little battle. So we can see, let's go onto my trusty drone cam as we follow the Ninja Blade driver Schmergen. And you can see there, this is the current battle of the hard tyre runners for 6th position, and really, really close forward. Now you would imagine that it's the soft tyre runners with that superior grip, the superior torque you can get, all that additional better braking on those soft compound tyres that be having the close run battle. But no, we can see here this battle for 6th, and of course this is going to be the battle for the top 4 in a lap or two's time, as those soft tyre runners start to come in and change out their tyres. So this essentially is a battle for the lead of the race. Bear in mind, they're on the hard, so they're going to be out for significantly longer than those guys on the softs. And you can see here, that was Shark just trying to avoid giving Vale any kind of help down towards that banked right-hander at the bottom of the hill. Just kind of throws you out at high speed with that banking. And you can see here, this you get stuck in the dirty air for too long. You risk making a mistake. Not so bad in the Group 4s, of course, but it can happen. And you can see here that Schmergen has been pulled into this battle. You would deny that with this fighting, the thing about the fighting here, these three cars battling ahead, it's giving really, really good, it's working out really well, shall I say, for DJ. Because he hasn't got to worry about defending too much. He's got himself a little bit of a gap. Those cars behind him, they're having their little ding-dong. He can just concentrate on trying to manage the gap to those front five. That's Schmergen having a little look round the outside, round the inside here again. It's being blocked off. Val's doing a really good job of just shutting the door and not allowing Schmergen through. Down the field a little bit further, there is Dan, the World Series Lobby 1 champion. In that Suzuki Swift, he has got Stu Shelton all about town, dragging him along at the moment. Stu Shelton in that Corvette, trying to get the American muscle to put some pressure onto the little baby Swift. And it does look so... I get that it is actually a racing car, but it just doesn't look right among all these cars. I mean, where would you ever see a Bugatti Veyron racing a Suzuki Swift other than Gran Turismo? It's mental, isn't it? And as I said, as expected, already 2.4 seconds behind is Zimez. That Veyron, it's not great. Where you rely on a lot of corners, it's not the best car. And I think it's going to struggle a little bit today. If you can get the tyres working and look after them a bit better, he may gain a place or two. But already 2.6 seconds adrift. Out in front, Shake Your Booty, absolutely shaking his booty all over the racetrack right now. He has got that car dancing, that Renault Megane, just picking every apex, driving it like he's driving and gliding across the dance floor. 4.4 seconds clear, Shake Your Booty. And now he's starting to think about the pit stop, which will be lap 8, lap 9 maybe. Heckelman, he is going to be coming in very shortly. Edinburgh Lad 1.4 seconds behind him. He is in terrible. I'll put it this way: if that front left tyre was a condom, somebody would be getting pregnant, because there's no rubber left, baby. Vescu, he's in a similar position. I think we'll see both him and Edinburgh Lad in the pits at the end of this lap 7. Ridders as well. He's going to have to get rid of those tyres very quickly. So I think we'll see those three in. Shake Your Booty, I think, will stay out for another lap. Heckelman, I think Heckelman might come in as well, looking at his tyres there. So I wouldn't be surprised if Shake Your Booty does stay out for one more lap. But certainly I think 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th are all going to come in. And we can look at this battle here. That's Schmergen. He's ahead of Vale. Vale is ahead of Shark. This is really hotting up now. Let's see. From the perspective, you've got Shark there. He is all over it. We've got Amsterdam's involved there now as well. This has turned into a massive battle. And this will be essentially that into the pits. That's Vale ditching the hard tyres very early. Very strange strategy to be ditching them so early, but clearly he's got his strategy planned. And that is Shark there defending as well as he can do. Stu Shelton up the inside though, makes the move on Shark. Stu Shelton up into 8th position. Dan trying to capitalise on it as well. Let's have a little look at how Stu Shelton got that job done. That's not where we wanted to go. Where are we? I've gone to the wrong car. There we go. No, I've gone to the wrong car completely. There we go, that's the one we wanted. Shall we do it again? Let's do it again, but we'll do it right. So you can see there, he loses the position in the first part. Second part just holds that inside line, and there's nothing Shark can do to keep him at bay. And there we go, Stu Shelton holding on to that 8th position ahead of Shark. So Shake Your Booty did indeed stay out, but so did Heckelman. and Edinburgh Lad and Vescu. They've all opted to stay out. DJ now in 5th. He will be de facto leader of this race. Very surprised. Those guys, yeah, he is driving it like he stole it. They all are driving it like they stole it at the moment. So that's Edinburgh Lad in. DJ will move up another position. Ridder's there. He's lost out to DJ. He's on tyres that are not fit for purpose. And he's got DJ ahead of him. That is a bit of a disaster there for Ridders. And he's opting to stay out for another lap. It's just going to cost him more and more time. Because if Schmergen catches him, that's another hard tyre runner who's going to overtake him on the track. Now, bear in mind that Ridders was pole sitter with, I think there was only about 30 seconds left on the clock in qualifying when he was sitting on pole before losing out and ended up on the second row. He's in a position now where he hasn't pit. He's opted to stay out on the tyres, and those hard runners behind are now starting to catch him, and Schmergen's already taken a second out of Ridders on that lap. Now, I understand if you've got a strategy and you want to kind of make your tyres last longer. The problem is your strategy counts for nothing if you're losing significant time. So if your pace is no better than it would be on a fresh set of hard tyres, then you need to be on those fresh set of hard tyres and not risking an accident, not risking losing track position even further by staying out longer than you need to on tyres that really have no business being on a racetrack. The proper slicks, as I like to call them. So Schmergen is going to overtake Ridders. Ridders has got to come in this lap, surely. Does he pull to the left-hand side? He doesn't. He's staying out for yet another lap, and I wouldn't be surprised. We're going to see Schmergen, I think, catch him on this lap. So let's do a quick run through. Shake your boots, so you can see there. He's got a pit soon. I can't believe these guys are staying out so long on these tyres. It's ridiculous. Heckelman stays out as well. Vescu's staying out as well. You can see the tyres have dropped right off, though, for all of these guys. Dropped down into the 30, although for Shake Your Booty, it's not too bad. Heckelman dropped into the 31s. Vescu into the 31s. DJ is comfortably in the 30s. His tyres are great. He's on those excuse me, hard compound tyres. Ridder's behind 2.7 seconds, and look at Schmergen. Schmergen's about to make the move into this carousel right-hander, and he's made that move and made it stick. Ridders is tanking down the order a lot further than I think he would like. He's got to change those tyres. You cannot risk it. Bear in mind, they've all still got to run hard compound tyres as well. He's going to be in a bit of trouble, I think, because he's going to have to run the hards. Those cars ahead are going to be on better tyres come the end of the race. He's got to do it. Stu Shelton's on the hard compounds. He's staying out. Amsterdam also staying out. Zumez, of course, is staying out. He's going to have to pit relatively soon. Not only is this car not very good around here, it's not very good on the tyres either. Edinburgh Lad has pit. He's switched out to those hard compound tyres. Vale, he's switched to the softs, so he'll be chasing that Edinburgh Lad. 8.1 seconds is the gap there. And Shark, I told you we'd see the mediums being used, and Gary Shark Clark has indeed put those medium compound tyres on. So clearly there is some benefit to using the medium tyres over the softs. Of course, he will still have to run those soft compounds at some stage because he has already run the required hard tyres. So Schmergen and DJ ahead of Ridders. Is Stu Shelton catching him? Yes, he is. It's 1.4 seconds now, the gap between Stu Shelton and Ridders. And we can see on board here with Stu Shelton as he's closing down the gap ever closer to that RCZ. And it's a good 5 or 6 laps before he's going to be coming in. We know that one of the hard tyre runners came in very, very early. Much earlier than really was necessary, but it depends on your strategy, of course. But you can see that these hard tyres will last out already within 0.8 of a second. Is Ridders going to come in this? He's picked up a penalty, which is going to help, but we'll see. Yeah, that's it. I suppose, but I think the problem is, I think if Ridder's pace was better on the soft state, and he wasn't losing positions, then I'd say absolutely you should be staying out. But he's losing too much time. These guys are catching him at a rapid rate. He's dropping down through the order. He's absolutely tanking down through the order. And it's going to cost him. It's going to cost him dearly, I think, because he's going to be pitting the same sort of time as those hard tyre runners. And he's going to have to still use the hard tyres. As we see that Stu Shelton coming through now on Ridders, and he's getting the job done. So that's another position gained over at the expense of Ridders. He will get that position back though, of course, with it being served there, but it won't be long before we see Stu Shelton regain that position. I'm all for bravery, and having big brass ones on tyres. You have no business being that brave one, but I think there's a fine line between bravery and stupidity, and I think he's made the wrong call. What do I know? I can't drive as fast as these guys, which is why I shout at them and call them bitches on YouTube. Right, back to Shake Your Booty, who is now pitting on those soft compound tyres after an incredible 12 laps. So he's clearly going for the one stop. He's going to run the hards to the end of this race. Incredible to do that on soft compound tyres. And we say incredible. DJ now takes the lead for the KW Customs Porsche 911. It's not Porsche 911, it's the Porsche Cayman, isn't it? The Porsche Cayman, 1.2 seconds over Schmergen. So there we go. We can see that those hard tyre runners now into the lead of this race. They're going to be pitting when? Well, we know that if you're really, really stupid, you can run those soft compound tyres for up to 12 laps. These guys will want to get really within, they want to get to sort of lap 16, lap 17, if they can, and that gives them much, much better tyres to run on. Now we know that pretty much everyone is one stopping this race, just going hard and soft. But one driver who isn't is... I was trying to guess where he was. I couldn't see him. There he is, Shark. Shark's gone on to the medium compound tyres. He's already run the hards, so he has opted to go for a two-stop strategy in that Morrow Motorsport Mazda. Sacrifice sort of 20-odd seconds of a pit stop. You could politely ask him, but I don't think he's going to. DJ's in. Schmergen staying out. Interesting. I think the longer you stay out on those hard compound tyres, the better position you're going to be in. Dan, it looks like, staying out as well. Yes, the Shark has gone for the two-stopper, and I think he's the only driver that is going to do that, unless some of those at the back are going for the same kind of strategy. It's interesting because you can see the pace is significantly better on those mediums, and it's not too far off the pace of the softs, but with longevity in the tyres. And you can see there's zero wear at the rear in this Mazda. It's all front end damage on those mediums. So it's a bold strategy, Con, but I wouldn't be surprised, so excuse me, if it works out for him. Right. So there is really, he has now sensibly put on the hard compound tyre. He's 4 seconds clear of Zumez. Zumez is on a fresh set of softs. Now, I'll tell you for nothing, they are not. He's going to have to two-stop this, because even the hards were struggling at this stage on that Bugatti Veyron. It is going to tear the shit out of these softs over the next few laps. Schmergen, the next one, he's in. What is Dan gonna do in the Swifty woo? Dan's in as well, lap 14. So he's planning. These guys are planning on doing 11 glorious laps on the soft compound tyres. I have a feeling that Dan will be feeling it towards the end. Henkelman staying out in that AMG, but that's because he was already on the softs, wasn't he? So Now we're starting to see those soft tyre runners coming back through. So he's actually 3.5 seconds clear of Sheikh Yabuti, having pitted earlier than Sheikh Yabuti chose to. He's going to have to pit again, though, because he hasn't put enough fuel in that car to go to the end. So he's gone for the two-stopper strategy, and I imagine he'll put on, if he's doing that, will he put on softs and go softs again, or is he going to go mediums just to guarantee there's a bit of tyre left at the end? Right, so Sheikh Yabuti, he's firmly gone for the one stopper. He's on the hard tyres to the end now, so we know they'll last because he made the softs last ridiculously long. 3.3 seconds, so he's in a really strong position at the moment. But you can see, we were talking about Shark putting himself in a great position, and where everybody's pit, look at Shark up in that top 5. Yes, he's got to pit again. There are cars ahead that still got to pit again, though. He's not the only one. Henkelman, we know, has got to. Vesky behind him, he's going to run to the end. DJ, he's on softs. He's going to be struggling towards the end on those soft tyres in that Cayman. So he'll need to get an overtake done relatively quickly. Schmergen as well, he's on those soft compound tyres. They will go to the end, but they will be causing problems. Stu Shelton also on the softs. He'll be in the similar position in that Corvette. Dan running the softs as well in the Swifty. And it's all going to be on the front of that car as well, because it's that front wheel drive hairdresser's car. Is it just as Batman? Hang on. Can I look at his race suit? It's that view I want. It looked like he was Batman. Obviously he's not Batman. That's ridiculous. Oh, he is Batman. There you go. See, no, he is Batman. So the in-car view actually doesn't it doesn't deliver properly on the in-car view. That's very disappointing. Very disappointing. Oh, Batman. Amsterdam. Right, so let's do the full run though. Sheikh Yabuti back in the lead of this race, ahead of Edinburgh Lad, 2.4 seconds. That's because Heckelman did his second pit stop. So everyone pretty much needs to pit as pit, and we're there's still a couple still going to go in, but essentially we're kind of in order, race order now. So 2.7 seconds, Sheikh Yabuti leads over Edinburgh Lad, although Edinburgh Lad has pitted incredibly early, and there's going to be I think his hard tyres are going to be screaming a bit towards the end. Vale in off the soft tyres. Vale pitted early as well to get rid of the hard tyres. Is he going to run to the end on mediums, or is he going to try on the softs? He's dropping down that order. That's Shark up to third, but DJ is right in the mix there. There's a good little battle going on there. Vescu, DJ, Smurgen, three-way, and not the happy fun time kind. It's the pressure kind. DJ will want to just edge away, let Vescu and Smurgen go at it, pull himself away from this battle and just open up a bit of a gap. Schmergen's going to get a good run down to this. He's very quickly taking that inside line, not allowing Schmergen to defend. It's quite a tight line here from the inside. You want to really be on the outside if you can to give you that exit, but Schmergen pulls that off expertly, and Vescu can do nothing but tuck in behind and wait for an opportunity. Turn one is probably going to be the next opportunity to make the overtake, unless of course Schmergen makes some sort of error. Stu Shelton is up to 7th. He's going to run to the end on the... Well, I don't know how he's going to make them last to the end. Look how bad they are already. I think Stu Shelton's going to need to stop again, unless he's going to do that. Stay on the tyres, because it's ridiculous strategy. Dan there, dope as fuck indeed. 1.8 behind Edinburgh Lad into the pits. A Shark up to second, although Shark we know he's going to have to pit again to put on some soft compound tyres at the end, but he's going to be pretty darn racy when he does. So Dan there, just behind Stu Shelton as they come through. Edinburgh Lad dropping down the order. Zumex, he's going to have to pit again with those soft tyres in that Veron, but he's ahead of Ridders. Ridder's really cost himself. I mean, Ridder's got good pace. There's no two ways about it. He's been pretty quick. He's putting in similar pace to those guys around him. As Henkelman up the inside, the American driver forcing him to stay wide, and Henkelman making the move on Ridders. It's not over yet, though. This is a great little battle going on between these two drivers. The AMG just ahead, but Ridders will tuck in behind as they head down the hill. Can Ridders get this move done? Going on board, as we can see, if he's going to make the move. He hasn't gone up the inside, so he's opted to stay in behind him on those hard tyres. But I think Ridders has, and we know we've seen it not just here, but in Sims as well. He's incredibly quick and knows his stuff and knows how to drive a car. But I think just this time he was just a little bit too bold with the strategy. You've got to be so careful going off the grass there. If you keep your foot in, it can go horribly wrong very, very quickly. There we go. So Edinburgh Lad down in 11th. He's got Vale all up in his business now. They're both on soft compound tyres. They're both racing to the end. This is going to be a ding-dong battle between the Supra and that Dodge Viper. So there we go. Shark into the pits. With those medium tyres being squared away and some nice juicy softs going on. Shark currently in 10th position. Where will he drop down to? He's going to drop outside the top 10, but he's going to be quite quick. So how far behind, though, is he going to be behind these guys? Because bear in mind that these guys are also on the soft compound tyres. So here he comes. He's out, and he is 9.9 seconds back. So I might be wrong, and actually that strategy might have been absolutely awful. We'll see, though. We will see. So Vale and Edinburgh Lad duking it out for that last place inside that top 10. Ridders down in 9th. He's already losing loads and loads of time to Henkelman ahead. 3.2 seconds is the gap to the AMG driver, Henkelman. Zumez, who will need to go in again before unless of course he has got testicles the size of beach balls and can drive fast with those massive testicles. I doubt it. He's going to come into the pits as the Portugueser in that Veron. He'll put on fresh tyres, which will be his softs, I would have thought. Hello, Victoria Lawrence. Where is DJ? Let's have a little look where DJ is, because wife and kiddos are rooting for him. DJ is there. He's in 3rd in that top 3, but he is going to need to take that Cayman into the pits and get fresh tyres. It would be well, I've been proven wrong already in this race about how far these soft compound tyres will go. But I can't imagine it's a wise decision to try and stay out, essentially doing 6 laps on those tyres. He may well try it. He's there in the top 3 at the moment. The problem is, as soon as he starts losing time on those tyres, I think it's a difficult one now. That's the problem. Is that you can lose about 22 seconds by going into the pits at this stage. 22 seconds. So he would need to know that he can be more than that faster by putting the fresh soft tyres on than he would be staying on the tyres he is. Of course, the big problem with having very worn tyres is you're taking the risk of spinning out, there are times you can put a wheel on the grass and you can get away with it, but if your tyres are really shot, that's when you can't get that power down early. You can't brake late into the corners. You can't throw one up the inside. You can't. It's very difficult to defend as well. Vescu's on hard compound tyres. He's got Dan all over the back of him. Dan is on soft tyres, so Dan is going to be pushing up into that top 4, and he may very well be putting a lot of pressure on DJ. I think DJ is probably going to stay out. I can't imagine he's going to want to go in and relinquish third that easily. but I think he's going to find there's going to be a whole lot of Swifty in his rearview mirror come the end of this race. And it is a straight drag down to this carousel right-hander, and the BMW just edging it in terms of pace over that Swifty. But with those superior tyres and the agility of that little hairdresser's lawnmower wagon, down up into fourth position. So Vesky down into fifth. That's Stu Shelton running just 8 tenths behind, but a nice big gap to Heckelman behind. But he's going to have to take these some dodgy tyres to the end of this race. Heckelman's still got enough tyre in there. He might still feature in this top 6 with those guys ahead, struggling a little bit on the tyres. Zumez, it looks like he's going to stay out on those tyres, so he may well, because the people behind are going to struggle. We'll see. He may have proved me wrong in this Veron, because he's staying out on those soft compound tyres, as bad as the grip may be. So Ridder's down in 9th, made a rod for his own back, but I suppose he's gone with the strategy he's gone with, and I think because everybody else has one-stopped it, it would have made it very difficult had he stopped early anyway. But he's under significant pressure now from Edinburgh Lad, who's got those nice juicy soft compound tyres to play with, and there he makes that look very easy into turn 2, and next will be Vale in that beautiful tribute livery to the great Valentino Rossi, of course, VR46. Heading down the hill, it's Vale now. He's going to put some pressure on the back. Is he going to make the move up the inside? You can see there the Edinburgh Lad just blocking off the inside. That's a great move by Vale. Lastminute.com, but got that job done. Let's have another look at that. That was a little bit special, wasn't it? So you can see here running down the hill, and usually you would expect he'd pull into the inside a lot sooner. He's opted to wait and then bang, under braking, make that move, and it's such a dangerous thing to do. I do that under braking. I'm spinning off into a fireball of oblivion at the side of the racetrack, but incredibly skilled to be able to make that move under braking as he did. So he's now back on the Edinburgh Lad hunt. So Ridder's now down to 11th, with Shark 6.8 behind him, chasing him down on those soft tyres. So I stand corrected about Shark's 2-stop strategy. It was trash, Mr. Clark. Absolute trash, didn't work. One stop all the way. So we haven't talked much about him, but Shake Your Booty has shaken his booty plenty today, and 18.1 seconds he dominates this field by. Has been absolutely on it. Although Shark is the fastest man on the racetrack at the moment, so don't discount him just yet. Shake Your Booty absolutely on it. 18.1 seconds clear. Just 3 laps or 2 and a bit laps remain for him. Schmergen holding off at the moment DJ. Both of them on very ropey tyres, although Schmergen's still got something on the rears to play with. DJ nothing at all on that, no grip at all on the left hand side of that Porsche Cayman. 1.2 seconds the gap between him and Schmergen. Dan, his tyres has gone as well. He got past Vescu. Can he catch DJ? 2.8 seconds is the gap as we cross the line to start lap 24, the penultimate lap. Stu Shelton making a move on Vescu as they drag race down to turn 1. Stu Shelton on a charge. Can he get it slowed down? Yes, he can. Can he get it turned? Yes, he can. He's up into 5th position. Vescu under some significant pressure from Henkelman behind on those soft tyres. So it looks like even with worn softs, that the hard tyres just cannot cope even with the worst conditioned soft tyres. At least in everybody else's hands, it looks like Ridder's was the only one that really, really struggled for pace on those soft tyres. So there we go, that's the move done on those soft tyres. Again, into this right-hand carousel, the move seems to be, that and turn 2 seem to be where these moves are getting made. Excuse me. So Heckelman up to 6th. Vesky drops to 7th. Edinburgh Lad now getting involved with Zumez. So Zumez under a lot of pressure there, just dropping straight down. Edinburgh Lad through, Vale through. Ridders is 6.6 point nothing seconds down the road, with Shark only 1.4 behind him. So I think Ridders is going to, his strategy flawed, as it were. It's cost him. The thing is, the tyres are gone on the hards as well. So maybe if he'd gone for a similar strategy to Shark, he may be able to fend him off. It's going to be very, very difficult to do so. The Shark makes the move. Will he make the move into turn 1? He is closing fast. Down towards turn 1 they go. That is Zumez just up the road. He could potentially still get caught. Shark making that move up into 11th position. Move done. Ridders dropping down. Zumez only 6 seconds up the road. It's not necessarily over yet. But there is your race leader. Just a couple of corners to go. 18.7 seconds. Absolutely dominated from start to finish. Did Shake Your Booty. Around this final little section in Sector 3. One more braking zone before he crosses the line. Holds his hands aloft and tells the world that he is the opening round champion. Round he comes, and it's Shake Your Booty in the Renault Megane takes the win in the opening race of this championship season. And by God, that was an amazing performance from him. 19, nearly 20 seconds clear of anybody else. Here comes Schmergen. He's got DJ. DJ did hold on for 3rd. Schmergen coming across the line in 2nd. Dan coming fast, couldn't make it. DJ in 3rd. Dan across the line in 4th. Stu Shelton holding off. Does he hold him? Coming off just on the line. Nothing between them. Vescu comes home in 7th. Edinburgh Lad home in 8th, with Vale right there with him. Azumez does hold on for 10th. And I'm surprised he didn't spin a lot earlier with tyres that bad. Shark took that position in 11th, and Ridders with nothing left in the tank. I think he's run out of petrol, actually. He has indeed. He's run out of fuel. Ridders crosses the line with no fuel remaining in the tank. And that, my friends, woo, that was a bit special, wasn't it? There's your champion. There is Shake Your Booty, pole position, and takes the win there. And that was a very, very convincing display from Shake Your Booty. Let's clarify those results. Shake Your Booty from Schmergen, from DJ, from Amsterdam. Good finish from him in that Swift in the end. Stu Shelton as well. Good finish from him. Heckelman rounds out that top 6 with Vescu and Edinburgh Lad, 7th and 8th respectively. I stand corrected by Zoomers. He wasn't last. Finishes just behind Vale in the Viper. Shark, with his 3-stop strategy, rescued himself a point by moving up to 11th. Does get the fastest lap, of course. Or it does get the fastest. He got the fastest lap. So he will get some moolah for that. Ridders didn't get Ridders his tyres early enough, and that's cost him dearly. He went from pole position 30 seconds from the end of qualifying to finishing last, and I'd be upset with that. But there we go. It's done. Done. Let's save this replay. So, how about that? That is round number 1 done and dusted. Next week we are at Suzuka. Absolute icon of a racing circuit. And just as my PlayStation turns itself off, so that was pretty good timing, wasn't it? Yes, so Suzuka. We're in the Nissan GTR 2008 GR2. I've definitely got. I don't think it's a power supply problem anymore on PlayStation. I think it's a fan problem because the back of it is properly hot. It's hot, mama. Yeah, so we'll see you this time next week. Do check out Correntis' broadcast of Lobby 2, which is underway at the moment. All that's left to say is thank you very much for watching. I've been Pirate. This has been the ZFS Championship on Black Flag Racing TV. It's been emotional.